Winlink, I was able to practically pick up a server on every frequency, whereas before I put all this on, I might have a small window for like 30 minutes just right in a certain time at night that I might be able to get one server to connect to. Now, pretty much any time during the day, I can hit a Winlink server with this wrestling kit put on every wire I have in my shop. It was the best purchase I could have ever made. I wish I would have done it sooner. Again, it's not the only thing you're going to need. You got to make sure you got everything addressed. In my case, on the second floor, I needed an artificial ground. Going to a ladder line, balanced line, that helped. Common mode's not an issue. Having a good ground, all this stuff, and now I have a better radio, which helps. But I think the radio actually helped the least of all of it. But I decided to keep this radio, even though there was times I was frustrated with it, and I do think it could be better. After I borrowed the 7300 for a couple of days, I realized how much superior the UI is on this radio. It really does kick butt, and it's really nice when you have two antennas where you can listen and transmit at the same time. And I'm finding myself listening on FT8 or doing a Winlink while I'm listening to people chat, rag chew, and it's like, I don't know why you would need an 8-slice radio like the 6700. Just running the 2 slices off the radio and an interface with my Mac, using just native Mac software for all those 2 slices, and then if I want to have access to the other 2 slices, then I go into a Windows virtual machine for Winlink. I'm looking at ALE. I haven't got that to work quite yet, but I haven't tried it since I've now got my... I couldn't hear anybody. I went all over the place on ALE and didn't hear a thing. Nothing responded. So maybe that'll work now. So I run ALE and Winlink and the other 2, the Smart SDR, inside of the Windows VM, which it's a little sluggish, but it does the job. It works. But for the most part, I'm using the front dial on the radio, which I actually prefer. I like dials. I'm not having an issue running the Mac and Windows at the same time. And in fact, there's a bug in ALE that I would not be able to use it right now if it wasn't for the fact that I was running it in a virtual machine, so that I'm able to take the external audio that's going to the PC speaker and route it back into the Mac DACs to the transmit for the radio. So I'm here. The ALE is transitioning 1.8. They're getting rid of the 1.8 version is the last. They're going to be done with it. They're just going to take the Mars version and they're going to make it with a config file and the build time to make it so they just work on one version and they spin it out for Mars or spin it out for HF. And it's going to make their maintenance time a lot less because they can work on one code base. And everything I've been reading, I think people like the Mars one a lot better. I think it's by far more advanced. I think that'll be a great move. But in the meantime, I'm able to do a MacGyver and get it to work through a virtual machine with the DACs, because you don't use a line out. You can't just plug it into your headphone jack and make it work because you're not running into a sound signal link or something like that. It has to be routed in software, and because it won't use the DACs interface that I'm assigning it to, and it keeps putting out the PC speaker interface, what I ended up doing is in the virtual machine, I told it to use, instead of my PC speaker, to use the DACs. So when ALE transmits and goes out the PC speaker in the virtual machine, it's actually going into the DACs. I hope that made sense. I'm going to just open up my DACs, my Smart SDR, pop up a slice. It's on channel 1. All right. Now let's go turn this off. There we go. We got it on channel 1. This just goes through the DACs. So I am going to go ahead and I'm not even going to do a new forecast. This is from a day ago. I'm going to just pick the best channel that it had assigned the other day. Getting some interesting stuff here. Let's turn this up. I'll turn this one down. All right, so we're at 701. It is literally like working when you have this open and you have this, you've got 2 radios. 2 radios that can do 2 slices each is how I look at it. The issue is, for some reason, I'm not getting any data here on this. Let me just restart this. All right, let's open DACs again. And that's where we're at it. We'll look at the cat. The cat looks okay. So, and the cat's fine actually because it's changing channels. Let's test that. Yeah, I changed that channel so it worked. Let's see if DAX is working now. There we go. I just had to restart DAX after everything was asleep. So now I'm using ARDOP. I guess you say RDOP. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything in the waterfall. I am going to just check my mail. So again, keep in mind right now it's not hitting channels because I don't have a new forecast. So in fact, I'm going to go channel selection here. Stop that. Let's just go ahead and update, but I'm going to do it by radio just so you see something that's working here. So I sent a request to update by radio. I'm going to go to the next channel. So this is what you would do when you have a stale forecast. Nothing's happening there. Oh, I hear it. It's really quiet though. Let's see if I can bring it in. Nope, I'm not going to get it. Oh, it got it. It's too light. It's too light though. I'm going to skip to another one because it's not hearing it. Let's go to the next channel. So let's see if we can adjust our noise level down here. So I'm going to just turn these both down. Oh. All right. So to bring that to 104, I'm turned up at almost 5. So let's bring this up to 104. And I can't bring it up to 104. 108 is the highest I can go. So let's bring this one to 108. Turn this one all the way up. And then, so I brought this one all the way up, which was 108. Then I brought this one up to be 108. Now I'll take my phasing and bring it back down. That's high. There. That's the lowest point. All right. That's going to be the point with the least amount of noise. So let's go ahead and try it again. There we go. See how I just tuned that in? All right, so as you can see, the MFJ noise canceller still a must-have, even with the FlexRadio. The FlexRadio, well, this is the digital mode. You can't really use noise reduction and all that stuff on the digital mode. You can't. You need to clean up the signal at the antenna level, because if you start removing data to make it feasible for human hearing, you're removing data that the computer needs to understand. So it's best not to do anything with filtering on the radio and just to do it with the noise canceller. But as you saw, what I did is I leveled the noise off, got the noise as low as I could, and instantly I was able to connect. I've not been able to do that. Not that easy. I mean, I'm like, these aren't even the best channels right now. Once this list gets updated and I pick the best channel, it would have instantly sought it probably without me even having to do that. But I was able to do it that easy, and I've missed the window. This is actually beyond when I've ever been able to get it. About 7 or 8 my time is generally the only time I was able to get about a 30-minute window of using Winlink before I put these suppressors on. It's 11 o'clock, and I didn't even use the best channel. I just picked one basically randomly, and with a little tweaking on the noise canceller, I was able to get results. It's still downloading. Definitely get these. Check my thejohnnyoshow.com/promotions. I don't think they have an affiliate program, but if they do, I'll see if I can become an affiliate. because this is a no-brainer. So if you don't see it at my promotions page, so you can't support my channel, that's okay. Definitely go to their site, palomar-engineers.com. And this was called the FlexRadio Transceiver HF1 through 60 megahertz base RFI kit. And they have it for different radios. And really they base on the type of radio you have, they just give you two different types of, they give you the rings and they give you the blocks, and they just give you a different number. That's all the kit is just different number of rings and a different number of blocks. And they give you a discount because you're buying them as a kit. So you don't have to buy the kit, but you're gonna get the best buy by buying the kit. But if you want a lot and you want a lot extra, just get the 6700 kit. I think that's the one that's got the most in it. It's got 12 total. 7 of the blocks and 5 of the rings. So definitely a must-have. So this is still with the old forecast stuff. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next channel. Somebody using that too. So it's just going to keep going until it finds an empty channel. All right. So I'm going to try this channel, and now we're on this channel. I can now, it knows that I'm going to be calling back again to download that selection. So I'll go ahead and hit start. See, look at that. It's already gotten something. It's a little weak though. Let me see if I can help it. Nope. Yep, I'm gonna have to go to another channel. It'll detect it's busy. It's going to go to another channel. It's going to detect that one's busy. But look, I can actually hear these channels are busy. I couldn't hear anything. Every channel I'm going to, I can hear it. Just went to another channel and it can hear it. Now that's just noise. It's going to think it's busy. Another one is busy. I literally could not hear these channels were busy or anything when I was using it before. All right, so to use ALE on a FlexRadio, there's a glitch and there's no workaround that I found that would work with the DACs. So what you do is you have DACs set up, transmit off. You're not using the transmit in the DACs. You're not transmitting any audio from the DACs in Windows because it has nothing to transmit. You can't pipe to it. It's hearing slice from the Maestro on slice A, which is going on over here. And then it's got the cat connected to the Maestro. So it's connected using the Maestro to the cat. And then for the DACs, I have my virtual machine basically going into a multi-output device, which is Soundflower and my speaker. That way I can always use my smart SDR and hear audio if I want to, but at the same time, it's going into Soundflower. So now on the Mac DACs, I turn transmit on, and I go in here, and I say Soundflower. The audio is actually going to come from the PC speaker on Windows into the DACs on the Mac, and then out to the radio because of the bug in ALE. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to pick something. I still haven't got the software to work, but I've actually heard 2 radios talking so far, but it didn't respond to them, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm getting closer. So let's give it a second. You're going to hear it come through the speaker, but you can also see it on the radio. So there we are. So I'm able to transmit, and it's scanning. And like I say, I've heard a radio twice on its scanning, but it didn't do anything with it. So that's as far as I've gotten with this. But this is literally the first time I've ever heard somebody else during its scans where I've heard somebody, but it didn't stop and acknowledge them or anything. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But before, I wasn't even able to hear anybody before I did these upgrades. I think that's the last you're going to hear on this. I'm just really excited. I will put that on tomorrow. I'm going to also play with moving around my magnetic loop and see if I can get some better results with it now that I have all these new things that I can see. So right now I'm just using the front panel on the 6600M. I'm not using Smart SDR. And I'm listening to Freewheelers. The bands are really good tonight, unrelated to all my changes. They're just really good tonight. I'm listening to the Century Club on RIDI right now on FL Digi. And I went ahead and put this inside. This helps bleed the static off. Got my ladder line coming in. It comes in. I have this going to the ground, and then this goes out over to my tuner. That appears to, now I haven't tried actually transmitting yet, but I can still tune everything. It doesn't seem that it had any impact putting it in the line. So really its main purpose, it's not going to help you with noise. I guess if you had static creating noise, but I do think for the most part I was getting the static out already with my good grounding as far as the electrical ground. So I maybe didn't need this, but I figured it would be a good precaution. It can't hurt. I mean, it's a expensive radio, so, you know. Why not, right? It doesn't appear to have affected me adversely. I never checked to see what kind of benefits I could get with moving my magnetic loop around. That's another project.